life practice community.
All right, so welcome to our Yin practice. What do you need for this practice? There she is. Hi, Jules. Let's have the usual stuff for Yin nearby. So a block, a bolster can be nice. Where's my bolster? There it is. And something to grab hold of your foot with, like a yoga strap if you have. And then we're just going to start our practice in a comfortable seated position. So you can come to crisscross and lengthen up through your spine and then rest your palms. Take some deep breaths in and out. And as you breathe in and out, just evaluate and see what's going on for you today. See what you are showing up on your yoga mat with. And it might be a more calm mind. It might be a more busy mind. It might be an achy body. It might be a tired body. Might be feeling high or feeling low. There is not a right or wrong with what you're showing up with. Mindfulness is not about being one way. It's not about forcing ourselves to be happy. Commonly confused. It's about showing up with concentration and focus and awareness. So that we can identify and evaluate what's going on with us today. So the first few minutes is always an opportunity or an invitation to do that. I was spending time with someone the other day who was asking me about being religious and if it conflicts with the spirituality of yoga. That reminded me of the fifth niyama, which is Ishvara Pranidhana, devotion to a higher self. Bowing to a force in the universe. So we're going to examine and explore this niyama tonight. And I invite you before we start to devote this practice to something. Whatever you want to bow to, whatever you believe in. And we're going to invite some movement with our bodies. So when you inhale, can you sweep your arms up towards the sky? And then interlace your palms, then just reach those arms over towards the right. Nice, and then come all the way back up through center. And then reach them over towards the left. Lift all the way up, extend through both arms, breathe in. And then can we rotate and land your left palm on your right knee? There's Alexandra. Right fingertips can be behind the spine. And then inhale, reach your arms all the way back up, twist through center, and then rotate the other way. Come all the way back up through center, reach through both arms. You can place the palms at your heart center. And then we're just going to come up onto the hands and knees and do a little bit of stretching through the spine. And hi to Alexandra, who just joined us. Taking some cat-cows, tilting at the pelvis. When we started the MLPC in March, it was lockdown. And we all just became this like really connected community on Zoom, spending like hours doing yoga together because there was nothing else to do. And Alexandra was one of those original members. And then she moved from Abu Dhabi to Greece and kind of her routines changed. And it's been really awesome to have her back this week. So great. Let's take one more cat-cow. And then come all the way through center. Leave your left palm where it is. Lift your right arm up. And then we'll just thread the right arm under, landing onto the right cheek and maybe weaving the left arm up and around. And then let's come all the way back through center. And then twist the other way. Oh, there she is, Cameron. Left arm up. And then thread the left arm under, landing onto the left cheek. And then maybe you weave the right arm all the way up and around. And then we'll come back up with both palms, just lifting your way into a table. And then can you take your knees wide, your toes together, and then just sit your hips back on your heel, rest your forehead. And if you want to snuggle your body onto a bolster, go ahead, that is an option as well. Supporting yourself in any way with the knowledge that we will be in this shape for 3 minutes. So just choose something that is comfortable. So when I've in the past tried to theme my practice on yamas or niyamas, philosophy of yoga, I never made it all the way to this niyama. And the reason why is because I don't have a big understanding of religion. I wasn't really raised with religion growing up. And so it didn't feel comfortable or natural for me to theme a practice around this whole concept. Ishvara Pranidhana. And this year when I did the 30-day yoga challenge, I made a commitment to explore them. And when I got to this one, I realized that it's actually one of the most beautiful of the niyamas and niyamas. So Ishvara means a god of our own understanding. And it can be God, it can be Allah, it can be Buddha, it can be a deity, it can be our own higher selves, it can be nature, it can be the divine within, it can be a lot of things. And pranidhana means to surrender. To devote. To dedicate. And it's the practice of bowing to a higher force. The state of yoga is said to come most directly from this niyama. So we'll stay here for a few more breaths, just feeling the back line of your body soften. The skin of your sacrum spreading. And then from our child's pose, we're actually going to make our way up into what is not a yin pose. We're going to make our way up into our down dog. So we're going to spread through the palms and tuck our toes and lift our hips up and back. I promise this is not going to be a vinyasa class, but we're just going to give ourselves a moment or an opportunity to walk out the dog, pressing through the heels, bending through the knee. And then from the down dog, leave your left foot where it is. And then just take a big step forward with your right foot. Nice. And now we are going to come into dragon pose. So you might place a blanket underneath your left knee because we're going to be here for 3 minutes with the left knee lowered. And then you're just going to make your way up and interlace the palms on top of the right thigh. Perfect. So this practice is going to have a little bit of our kind of flow integrated into it. We'll move from our down dog into dragon, and then back to our down dog, and then back to dragon on the opposite side. The word vinyasa means to place in a special way. And when we're flowing, we can almost use the body like a prayer or an offering. Moving with mindfulness through the endings, through the beginnings, through the spaces in between. I think we're about halfway through this side. Keep breathing into whatever is arising. Couple more breaths. And then come forward onto your hands. Nice. And then same thing as before, we're going to tuck our toes. Step all the way back, down dog. You can walk out through the heels. Maybe drop your head, release tension. And then we'll move the opposite way. So you're going to take a big step forward with your left foot. And then if you need any cushioning underneath the right knee, go ahead. Flipping that sand time, not flipping the sand timer. Oh my God, I'm narrating what I'm doing. I'm flipping the sand timer. You don't need to flip the sand timer. I will tell you when 3 minutes is up. And then you can just lift up and interlace your palms on top of the thigh. So my yoga teacher, Rolf, he talks about how there is this undeniable energy that you feel when you walk into a room full of people practicing yoga together. And it's the same energy that I felt when I first moved to the Middle East. Watching people stop everything and pray. The neighborhood let go of movement and received stillness. And this Yoga Sutra, Ishvara Pranidhana, it asks us to just let go and surrender. And surrender doesn't mean to give in. But it's a willingness to be nudged in a direction for our own greater good. And when we can redirect our energy away from our personal dramas, when we can see the bigger picture of our lives, when we can say, this too I accept, then we are practicing this last niyama. Walk your hands down. And then we're going to tuck the toes and lift up and back again into your down dog. And from your down dog, walk your feet up to meet your hands. So you're making your way into a forward fold, into a dangling pose. And if there's a variation that would feel better for you, if you want to be supported with a piece of furniture or 2 blocks and a bolster, go ahead. Knowing that you will be here for 3 minutes. Can you let your mind flow? With humility to the earth. Surrender. Surrender to the postures. The difficult ones reflect life's struggles. The sweet ones reflect our joy. Surrender to the outcome of your actions. They are not in your control. Each day, each practice, just do your best. Surrender to the actions of the universe. The marvel of nature. The things you never saw coming. Surrender to your present difficulties, the pain and the losses. especially the things that you tried so hard to control, but you couldn't. Surrender to the definition of yourself, your judgments. They're just your way of limiting who you are. Have a deep, unwavering trust that right now you are exactly where you are meant to be. And then just feel the universe working beautiful magic through you. Let's slowly bring our body to roll all the way up to stand. Allow your head to balance on both shoulders. Soften the shoulders down the back. And then just pause in this moment of introspection. Can you feel the universe moving through you? And then let's just move through just a few half sun salutations. So keeping the feet where they are, inhale your arms up towards the sky. And then just exhale into a fold. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Take an exhale, fold. And then take an inhale, lift your arms all the way up. Take your palms into heart center. Can you flow with your own breath 2 more times? After the second time, we will link up back in Tadasana. Standing at the front of the mat. Take an inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, fold. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, lower, plant the palms. Step your feet all the way back again to a down dog. And then from your down dog, come all the way forward onto your knees. And then we're going to make our way down onto our navels, onto our elbows, bringing your body into a Sphinx pose. So we're resting through the elbows and we're opening through the heart. Maybe close your eyes or settle your gaze. Breathing into your expanded chest. Knowing that, again, we are going to be here for 3 minutes. And after 2 minutes, I'm going to offer you the variation to come up to your seal. Right now, staying exactly where you are. Do not feel lonely. The entire universe is inside of you. Stop acting so small. You are the universe in ecstatic motion. Set your life on fire. Seek those who fan your flames. If you would like to widen your hands and then just push through the palms and lift up onto the or off of the elbows, feel free, knowing that you can always back down to your Sphinx. It's all good. Stay in whatever variation you're in for just a couple more breaths. And then can you come all the way down and then just rest a cheek? Let your whole body be heavy, feel a bit of a rebound. And then we're going to press through the palms and make our way again up through either a table, or if you want to go into down dog, again, go ahead. We're going to be stepping forward with the right foot again, and this time we're coming into lizard pose. So your right foot is going to be wider than both of your hands. And you might want to place a blankie underneath the left knee again. And you can either be up on the palms or on the elbows, or I'm going to go with a midway point today. So I'm going to have the elbows on a block. And then just play around with what feels right for your body. So you might roll onto the edge of your foot, toes pointing out. And again, I'm going to offer a variation here. So if you want to invite in a little twist and a quad stretch, you might kick the heel back and grab hold of the left foot with the right hand. As you linger in this shape, can you reflect on or think of a time when you felt really connected to the universe? Sometimes we feel really tiny and really small, but we're actually part of something much bigger. And sometimes we have moments in our lives when we become aware of this. I remember a time when I was with my mom in the Wadi Rum Desert in Jordan, and I hiked to the top of a mountain and I took this picture of her, and she just looked like the size of an ant. And it was one of those moments where I was like, wow. We're pretty tiny in the grand scheme of things. Maybe my problems aren't as big as they seem. Can you release the left foot if you have it? Nice commitment. Lift all the way up. And again, rebound out of it in whatever way feels right for you. And then we will stretch out the other way. So setting up your right knee with any cushioning. Step your left foot forward. Roll onto the outer edge of your left foot. Maybe you reach the right foot back and go into that twist. You know, I never really planned on becoming a Yin teacher. And how I ended up teaching Yin was actually kind of coincidental, in that a time slot opened up at the gym that they needed filled and they wanted something quiet and slow. And they asked me, what can you do? And I was like, well, I can try to teach Yin. And I remember part of me was like annoyed that the class was so late, and that was less than a year ago. That was January 2020. And I found that I just loved it because it had this extreme contrast to everything else I did, which was so go, 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 so intense, so much movement. And in this practice, you let go of everything and you just find stillness, find introspection, find reflection. And there's so many people that I met while teaching that yin class that then went on to become really important friends and members of the MLPC. And that's something I look back on and I'm like, yeah, that was unfolding exactly as it was meant to. And that all happened for a reason that was bigger than I understood at the time. I'm so grateful for that. And now I'm such a fancy yin teacher that I even have a sand timer, which I took from my classroom. Looks like we have less than a minute left. That is my estimation on looking at sand. So don't trust my estimation, but just keep breathing and know that this pose will pass, this experience will pass, whatever you are going through will pass. You have got this. Take 3 more breaths. 2. Nice. 1. And then just make your way up, release the foot. Come back into a table, maybe wiggling it out. And then we're gonna do one more pose before coming into our Shavasana. This one we'll just do for 2 minutes. So let's come into a seated shape. I have my 2-minute timer. And we're just gonna take a little neck stretch. So drop your right earlobe down towards your right shoulder. If you want to, you might reach your right palm up and land it on the side of your skull. And then extend your left arm away. Just give it 3 more breaths. And then lift your head all the way up through center. And then let's stretch the opposite way. So drop your left earlobe down. Lift your left palm up, plant it on the side of the skull, feeling the stretch through your right traps muscle. 2 minutes on this side. guys wondering where Princess is tonight, she's just sitting beside me snoring. It's nice to have her taking a break from disrupting yoga. Take another breath. And then can you lift your head all the way back up? And then we'll just do some circles with the skull. And then eventually just make your way into whatever shape will be your container to process this. So maybe you want to stay in seated, that's an option. Maybe you want to stretch out on your spine into your Shavasana. Legs up the wall. There are a bunch of different options. And I want to invite you to use this as an opportunity to listen to your intuition. To do what feels good. And know that I'm going to bring you back when the time is up. I will be your timekeeper. So try to completely rest and relax. wanna be free, so free, like a feather blowing through the breeze, like a bird in a tree, like a dolphin in the sea. I wanna fly high, so high, like an eagle in the sky. And when my time has come, I will let it all go aside. Pachamama, coming home to the place where I belong. Pachamama, coming home to the place where I belong. Pachamama, coming home to the place where I belong. Pachamama, coming home to the place where I belong. Give your body a wake up wiggle. Stretching in any way that feels right for you. If you're already in seated, stay there. If you're on your back, you can just make your way up. Resting the palms at the heart center. Lengthening up through the spine and closing the eyes or settling the gaze. Feeling your thumbs connect to your heartbeat. And we close with an intention. Ancient intention, but the original intention. Passed from heart to heart through hundreds of years. And it's that we remain consistent with this practice and that it heals not only us as individuals, but our society as a collective. May all beings be safe and be happy and be healthy and be free. May the thoughts and actions of each of our lives contribute towards this. So we finish with an Om. We inhale and exhale. Inhale through to make the Om. So a big breath in. Big breath out. Big breath in. Thank you so much for sharing this space and this practice tonight. The light in me, it sees and it honors the light in you. Namaste. Thank you guys for joining me.